Hey, welcome back to Niner Tech Talks. My name is Braden. I'm here with Harsh and Kirk, and today we're talking about subscriptions and microtransactions. These have been widely implemented across all sectors, including fitness, vehicles, gaming, entertainment, and we're going to talk about how that's impacting consumers around the nation. Kirk, is this a good thing?
No. So the average American spends around $200 a month on subscriptions, which, using the average American salary, is right around like a 50th of their spending power a month. And that also means that they are now having to spend that money on subscriptions to get access to entertainment that used to be free. We used to have cable television that covered everything. Now you need all these subscription services, such as the NFL.
Well, I heard the NFL was recently getting sued actually over that. Is that true?
Yeah, it's required to have either $700 or up to $1,500 worth of subscriptions a year to watch every NFL game.
$1,500.
And so originally, when the NFL started doing their broadcasting rights, they had to do it for free. And technically, you can still watch it for free. You just need antennas and a bunch of different loopholes to get around it. And so a lot of people don't have that technology anymore, so they have to pay the premium for those subscription services.
Well, that's just ridiculous. Well, it's definitely sounds like it's having a massive impact in entertainment, but what about other parts of entertainment like gaming? Harsh, what's happening in the gaming industry? How is this impacting gamers?
Subscriptions have also affected the gaming industry a lot. For example, the Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Network. Nowadays, you notice that in almost every console game, if you want to use any online features, in order to interact with other people who are playing the same game, you need a subscription. A personal example of this I have recently is a couple days ago I was playing 2K, NBA 2K, and I'm trying to build my player, and I want to play with my other friends in the online area of the game, and
Sure.
that's a huge part of the game itself. But I couldn't because I didn't have the PlayStation Network, and it feels like if over half of the game is not accessible to me, even though I have Wi-Fi and the capability to go online, but I need to pay a subscription just to access what I already own, it seems unfair.
That does seem unfair. So you've paid for your PlayStation, you've paid for the game, you pay your monthly internet bill, and still that's not enough for you to be able to play online.
Yeah.
That's pretty ridiculous. It seems like you're buying the hardware, you're paying all this money, and you still can't use it. And I think that's an issue in other sectors as well, as far as these subscription implementations go. We see it with things like health trackers, such as the Oura Ring, where you pay for the hardware, it's a few $100s for this hardware that tracks your fitness, and then you still have to pay for a subscription to even be able to utilize it. Same thing with Teslas have locks on certain features, right? What's going on? Should that be allowed?
Yeah, so Teslas right now, they used to have a thing where you would just buy an upfront package for $12,000 that would give you access to self-driving mode. And so now they've implemented it where you have to start paying a recurring monthly fee to have access to a self-driving feature. And the real concern for this is in cars, imagine if they turn off a safety feature. You have to pay $20 a month to have an airbag on. Imagine the implications of that. It's kind of a slippery slope when we start allowing this extortion within our hardware.
Extortion is a great word for it. I mean, once you have it and you rely on these features and you rely on the capabilities that you've paid good money for, you should have access to those for as long as you have the device. Harsh, do you have any thoughts about, is this ethical, right? We've talked a lot about the ACM code of ethics and computing and stuff. How does this relate to that?
I don't think that this is ethical at all because I believe that it is extortion, as Kirk said. We are charging money for features that's already available to us on the hardware that we paid for, and I feel like we're not even getting the full capability of the subscriptions that we're paying for. For example, Netflix. We used to have one subscription which was ad-free, and you got access to almost everything on Netflix. But nowadays, there's different subscriptions on Netflix too, and there's a plan where you have to pay $8 or $6, one of them, and you still get ads while you're watching Netflix. And a lot of the shows and movies that are newer are locked, so you need a better subscription in order to access those materials. And this would be accessible to everyone in the past, but not anymore.
Yeah, so it seems like it's definitely negatively impacting the consumers. Real quick, Kirk, do you have any ideas about how we can move forward? What's the next step? How do we fix this?
So the next steps are trying to limit the control that subscriptions have in our life. So whether this be going back to cable television where you have access to all these videos and you might not be able to stream them, but you can still watch these TV channels. Another reason why this is happening is because of corporate money. Corporate money requires that you have growth within your company. And if you think about it, if Netflix originally was charging $10 a month, they might gain users every month, but they also might lose users every month. So the only way for them to make a lot more money is for them to rake up the price. And so that's kind of why this is getting predatory and why it's leading to extortion, where you're now having to pay a huge chunk of your monthly earnings just to afford Netflix, Hulu, maybe even your car subscription.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, so it's definitely taking up a big chunk of our budgets. Thank you guys for talking with us. If there's one thing to think about now for the rest of you watching at home, it's how much are you paying every month for your subscriptions and which subscriptions can you maybe do without? Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys next week.